Hello, beautiful people. I hope that you're all doing so well. Oof, sorry about the crinklings in the background. But I hope that you're surviving. I hope that you're thriving. I hope that you're taking care of yourself. And most importantly, I hope that you've been having a fabulous week. And if you haven't been having a fabulous week, that's okay. It happens to the best of us. Just know that there is one lone human being out there that is sending you so much love, so much, good vibes, good energy, all of that stuff. And I'm just really hoping that by the end of this episode, I would have been able to put a small smile on your face, or alternatively help you learn a new perspective that's gonna just carry you forward through, whether it's like throughout the rest of your day or throughout the rest of your week, with a sense of like peace and grace, because I need that peace and grace. I am the person who's not doing it. I'm joking. Anyway, hi, welcome back to the Doing Life with Love and Magic podcast. I am your host, Ntwenkle, and this is the space whereby I like to chat shit. This is the space whereby I like to share my life's perspective as I navigate clumsily through my 20s, because the 20s can be a very interesting time. Like, it can be filled with a varying degree of emotions, a lot of confusion, sadness, happiness, good times, bad times, like being stumped, feeling like you know what you're doing, feeling like you don't know what you're doing. And I feel like the reason why I created this podcast is because I just feel like it's just so important to kind of document all of the nuances that one experiences throughout the 20s, because you're never done learning at any age, but I feel like for the most part, your 20s is quite a foundational time in your life. It's where you kind of start to develop your personality, like get clearer on where you want to go, all of that good stuff. And so this is the space where I like to talk about that. And if it offers you any sort of value, comfort, freaking entertainment, or whatever it is, then I've done my job. And thank you for joining me. Geez, that is a very long intro. A lot of the time I'm just like, why am I speaking so long? But it kind of just is what it is. Anyway, happy Wednesday, good people. I hope that you're all doing so well. I just figured, let me do a check-in and engage in one of my favorite activities, which is just to talk into the abyss. I'm joking. No, it's one of my favorite things, I think, to do sometimes is just to come onto this platform and just get really like reflective on what's been going on, how I've been feeling, how I've been trying to deal with things, while sometimes either staring at my house if I'm recording in the car, or staring at some trees, which I'm doing it right now. I'm literally in my room recording, and so if you can hear any noises in the background, that's just my family carrying on with life. But anyway, in terms of what's been going on and what's been happening and how I've been feeling and all of that good, lovely stuff, I feel like it's been quite a time. It's that part of the year where it's crunch time and all the deadlines are so close to each other, and it feels like everyone is kind of just like freaking out in a sense, but not really freaking out, but like just wants everything done like now. And like tensions are high, pressure is high, emotions are running high, and it's that time, and it's retail, which makes it even worse, and it's before Black Friday. So you must know that the lead up is crazy, and the build up to this moment has been absolutely insane in general. Like, I feel like there's just been things that have been dropped from my side, like me about to lose my shit, honestly, and kind of just trying to hang in there as much as possible with as much grace and, I guess, compassion for others and patience as possible, as we kind of just wrap up the end of the year. But there's like a huge part of me that's like, I cannot wait to sigh a breath of relief once all of this is over. Like, a lot of it feels like it's kind of being self-inflicted, in the sense that, like, the preparation and the lead up to all of these deadlines, like, coming to fruition hasn't been what it could have been. But at the same time, I feel like I recognize that there are a lot of factors that have contributed to getting to this point, and I cannot dog myself for trying to do so many things all at once. Like, I'm only one human, and it's a very stressful time, and it's been a very long year, a very emotional year for a lot of us. And I feel like we just need to give ourselves some grace and a little bit of peace if we don't 100% get it perfect, because peeps are tired, and peeps are over shit, and peeps are going through heartbreak, and it's a lot, you know? So, in effort to kind of try and keep myself sane for the most part as we kind of wrap up 2023, I have been trying to indulge in more activities that bring me a sense of comfort and peace, especially like outside of the working environment. So where I possibly can, I've been trying to work from home and setting up like a whole situation in my bedroom to kind of bring me some sort of peace. So it was really nice what I did, because Monday was like a freaking stressful day, and honestly I felt like crying and I was very upset, just like from some feedback that I had received, and also just being really upset at myself for feeling underprepared to handle all of, you know, the questions, and then just getting upset over the fact that I was getting upset over the feedback, because it was like pretty straightforward, and I was just like, the fuck. But on Tuesday, what I did for myself is I lit some incense, I lit a candle, I played some nice chilled music, and I just worked, and I felt immediately so much better taking those steps in between to make like my environment a little bit better, and a little bit more happier and upbeat almost. And what I found really has been helping me through the past like 2 days working from home is I rediscovered a creator that I can't even remember when I had found him. I don't know if it was like 2020, 2021. I think it might have been 2021 or early 2022. Actually, I don't know. But a while ago, I found this creator on YouTube and also found his podcast. His name is Heinz, and I think he also was a large inspiration that kind of pushed me to start creating like episodes on this podcast. So shout out to Heinz if he ever if he ever happens to come across this podcast. But like, I don't know what it is about that man, but he's just like such a calm and like soothing presence. Like, he's just like, he just radiates like mystical, like calm, grounded energy. And I feel like that's kind of like the vibe that I need right now. I need people around me that radiates like, it's okay, it's fine, have some tea, because he's literally always about tea, and he's always talking about like all of these cool new teas that he's found and the ones that he's trying and all of that stuff. And I've just been gravitating towards him because I'm like, I need this, like at a time and at a point during the year where I feel like everything is haywire and my emotions are all over the place and I feel stressed out. Like, I feel like I need something comforting, something wholesome to kind of bring me back. And I've just found that listening to him in the morning, like, just, it hits. I don't know, it just hits different. You know, when you listen to something and it touches you in your soul and you actually want to cry because you're like, this is exactly what I needed to hear right now in this moment. It's like, you are here in this experience with me. You know exactly what's going on in my head, and you're presenting the kind of information that I need in such a way that's just so comforting and loving to my spirit. That's what I need. And so therefore today I'm encouraging you to find those people and those things that give you that sense of comfort, whether it's Heinz, whether it's me, whether it's somebody else that just speaks directly to your soul, I feel like do it. Because like, yeah, like he just says things and you're just like, yes. Yes. And honestly, I just wanted to cry because I think in one of them he was just like saying some affirmations and he's like, oh, you're beautiful, you're amazing. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. I don't feel like I am, but thank you for saying it, you know? And ultimately, what I've gleaned from listening to his content and gravitating towards his content is that, like, part of this whole life thing, like, we are going to experience moments of just not feeling like our best selves and not feeling great and not feeling in tune and feeling all over the place and all of that. It's a natural part of the experience and we all go through it. But the most important thing is to find the things that bring you out of it so you don't stay in there for too long. And I feel like, I think I'm reaching the point whereby, at several points, like, I've stayed there for way too long. And, like, I don't know, I think that's kind of like why I gravitated back towards his content. Like, I fell off for a minute. Like, honestly, I got to a point at some points where I'm like, I don't want to listen to this anymore. Like, I feel like I don't need it. Like, I feel like I'm good, or I feel like it's too much for me right now. All of this, like, good vibes, good energy. I say as I try and be good vibes and good energy to other people. But, no, like, sometimes, the practices like become too much and you just like, I just want to do my own thing for a little bit. I want to feel however it is I want to feel. I don't want anyone telling me that I must be positive, must be this, must be that. I just want to exist and do my own thing. But like, if you're really about that life, there will come a point, especially when things are tough, where you're gonna be like, shit, like, I need an injection of that, like, good energy, good vibes, like wholesome type things, especially when you feel like you're not getting enough of it around you. And I think that's kind of like where I am right now. Not to say that like everyone I know is super negative, but I feel like with the way things are at this moment in time, it feels like I'm surrounded by quite a bit of sadness, And like, energy is contagious, and the more you surround yourself with energy that's kind of like that, you tend to adopt that kind of energy. And so I feel like I've been seeking and desperate for something, a little bit of sunshine to hold on to bring out my inner sunshine as well, which I feel that's why I've gravitated back towards Heinz, and it just feels so good. So, I mean, if you're into like spirituality, positive affirmations, like really beautifully filmed quality content, go and check that man out. Like, he is so good. Like, sometimes I just sit there and I just watch how like, it's like, it will literally be something simple, him just sitting there pouring a cup of tea, but it's like, it's beautiful the way it's been shot, and then the way he mixes in the sound. Like, I'm just like, this is like a captivating experience, has taken me to another dimension. Like, I need this. And the most beautiful thing that I think is just absolutely so incredible, and I feel like I'm envious of it, is that when you watch his content, you get a sense of his essence. And you get like he's just a vibe, and you catch the vibes. Like, even like looking through his comments, like, there's not a single person in there that's like negative, hating vibes. It's literally all good vibes. And I'm just like, my gosh, the amount of talent you must have and the amount of dedication you must put towards your craft and the thing that you do in order to exude this kind of energy and like get this kind of audience within your space is absolutely insane. And I admire it so much. Like, that is like the pinnacle of where I want to get one day, whereby I'm able to capture my own essence through whatever content it is that I create, and you can immediately catch my vibe and what I'm all about just from like sitting and listening to or watching one video. It's like absolutely incredible. So I just had a lot of fun like watching his content, and it's just been absolutely so lovely to do that. So yeah, that's the creator that I'm raving about this week. Like, that is my safe space right now, and I'm just looking for shit like that. I'm not looking for somebody that's going to tell me you need to do this. I need somebody who's going to reassure me, ground me, make me feel calm and safe and all of that stuff. Because the whole of today, I was like, when I started to feel my blood pressure rising and I started to feel like stressed out, I was like, Heinz, speak your truth right now. Like, I need this. And it makes it even better that he plays like these amazing playlists sometimes. These like songs that kind of just like hit me in my feels and my soul. Being South African, like the pianos actually goes in. Like, okay, like I won't lie. If you had asked me like 2 years ago, maybe I'd be like, yeah, they're cool, whatever. And I listened to them at like a party or something. But lately, like, there's just been something so comforting about listening to that genre. Like, I know that, I don't know what it is, but like, I put it on and I feel better. And he plays that kind of music, and I'm like, you're my kind of person. Like, I get it. So I guess the big learning for today is just to, and a reminder to surround yourself with energy that you want to adopt in yourself. Like, after that, I was just like, I need a cup of tea. Like, I need like a freaking, where's my incense? Like, I need the windows open. Like, where is my aesthetically pleasing life? Like, yeah. Anyway, so that was one thing that I feel like I'm really grateful for today, that I really like looked forward to. The other thing that I've really been trying to do, and I might have mentioned it in one of the previous episodes, is like gratitude and the morning manifestation things. So because I feel like I'm feeling a lot of heavy energy, and I feel very stagnant, and I feel very all over the place, like, I need reminders of what's actually good in this life to make me feel slightly better. So one thing that I have started to do is, before I go to bed, I list 5 things that I'm grateful for before I go to bed. I'll sit there and I'll be like, I'm actually grateful that I had a good day, that the sun was out and I didn't feel depressed, and that tomorrow is another opportunity, to go out there and create something new. I'm grateful for all of the opportunities that are coming towards me right now. Like, I'm grateful that, as hard as things may be, I have amazing people in my corner that can help me when I'm feeling stressed out, that I can call to vent. Like, I am grateful for this amazing content that surrounds me, that I can tap into, that will make me feel better, that will give me a sense of comfort. Like, I'm grateful for my talent, my skills and abilities to think quick when I'm in like a terrible situation. Something along those lines. I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that there's like delicious food in the fridge that I'm able to whip up into something nutritious. Like, I'm grateful that I've got money in the account. Like, even though if it's a small amount, it's still something, and it's more than what somebody else out there has, potentially. Stuff like that, I think, has been really important in terms of just in terms of like trying to get my vibration up, because I feel like I've been trying to keep it positive, but I can feel that I'm not really vibrating on the highest level. And you don't have to operate at the highest level all of the time, as long as if you're trying and you're doing your best to slightly raise your vibrations as much as you can with the energy that you do have, with everything that's going on in your life. I feel like that's like the most important thing, right? So outside of doing that, I think I've been really good at being consistent, like for these past 2 weeks, consistent around doing my magical morning manifestation. And I'm going to keep on doing that shit until the end of the year because I need to hear it on a regular basis and I actually need to hear it back. If you don't know what it is, it's like a method that I learned from Gala Darling. And basically, literally, as soon as you wake up in the morning, you can either write it or you can record it. And typically what she did was she would send it to a friend of hers, but I am my friend. So you just record there some things that you're grateful for. You talk about how you want your day to go and then your overall manifestations. Because I feel like there's something so powerful about saying the things out loud that it kind of just makes it come true almost. So that's been really like cool in terms of reminding me what I'm working towards during the day. And granted, on some days it doesn't sink in as deep, but that doesn't mean that it's not working, and it doesn't mean that it's not going to work overall. I think the thing that we tend to think is when we start implementing these practices to help us kind of feel better and raise our vibrations, like the first, second, or third time that we do it, we expect it to work immediately. And sometimes it doesn't always work. It's all about practice and getting into a consistent habit of doing the thing that's actually going to lead to the biggest changes in our outlook and how we feel going forward. So yeah, I'm going to keep practicing it. The one thing that I have been slacking on is my meditations, because I just keep going to bed and just sleeping, and not really like carving out time well enough before my bedtime to actually sit and meditate. But the third thing, which also ties in like from the sentence that I just ended on, is once a week I've been going to sound bath. And granted, it's been so hard to like concentrate. Like today I was in like a sense of like, okay, it's very peaceful. Then I get reminded of what I didn't do and what I forgot to do and what I didn't send. Then I'd freak out and panic, and then I'd go into like a chill spot and then freak out again. And then in my head I was like not really reciting, I was like recreating how to do my moves for this pole competition that's this weekend. And I was like, what is going on? Like, girl, you're stressed, like your jaw is clenched, like you are very wound up very tightly and you need to relax. I'm like glad that you're here taking some time, but make use of this time as much as possible to zone out completely and detach from what's been happening, like, you know, what's been happening during the day and in your life in general. Like, you made some time for yourself. But anyway, the moral of the story is, after I came out of that sound bath sleep, I was like, I really want to meditate. Like, I've never felt like a need so strong to just go home, close my eyes and meditate. That's what I need to do. The other thing that I feel, and I don't know if I will, but the one thing that I feel like I really need to do is get back into journaling. Like, my only thing is that I haven't bought a new journal, and I think I just might for 2024, but I think I need to get back into my journaling bag. Like, I do have a digital journal on my laptop, but it's not the same as actually like writing stuff out and like scribbling if I feel frustrated and like the times where I've actually had a journal on hand, I have been able to like put down my frustrations and my feelings and reflect on them a lot easier than having them in like a Word document on my laptop somewhere. But granted, I think I keep the digital journal for the things that I'm too scared somebody might like pick up and find, and oh my gosh, I literally just gave myself such a fright. So I'm literally recording in the dark and I just see my reflection in the window and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a ghost. So let me just turn on the lights quickly so I can feel a little bit safer around these parts. But yeah, I think that's what I feel like I should really get back into as we like slowly winding down. It just helps to kind of be in touch with yourself like that. But yeah, anyway, so like that is the other thing. And then yeah, that's kind of like the three main things that I've been trying to keep up with. I think the most important thing as well is when you feel like you're going through a tough time and you're trying to bring yourself out of that like dark, sad, heavy energy, is to not overcomplicate your life and try and implement too many things that are just overwhelming. I think the simpler something can be to kind of shake you out of a specific state, the better. Because then it doesn't feel like homework. And it doesn't feel like, I don't know, like it's hard. I think the one thing that I've picked up from a friend of mine actually is that when it comes to creating these like new habits or whatever, and shaking yourself out of a specific headspace and creating new habits, like I just mentioned, the most important thing is to kind of slip it into your routine in a way that's like pretty simple. Like, so for example, the morning manifestations, like on a day whereby I don't immediately do it as I roll out of bed, I save it for when I'm driving. So I'll have my other phone with me, and as I'm driving, I'll just talk out loud and be like, oh, I'm grateful for this, doing that, da, 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 all of that stuff. You kind of just adjust things to like your own routine and your own schedule, and yeah, carry on from there. Then there's one thing that has popped up, which is quite new and interesting for me, because it's something that I haven't really done in a while. But I don't know if it was just the calm Zen vibes from the sound bath, but what I've been really trying to do is just in general now, is just listen to more like, I guess, content that is aligned with the type of industry that I'm in. I think a big reason why I feel like in some ways I'm not really developing and growing in my career at the rate that I hope to be or wanted to be almost, is because I feel so out of the loop in terms of like what's happening, and I feel like I'm not engaging in stories that make me feel excited. Like before, during varsity, like you were kind of forced to look up things that interest you about the industry, like different things that brands were doing that you were like, oh, that's so cool, and then like later on it would spark an idea for how you could solve a specific problem that a business has in an assignment, and so on and so forth, right? So I've kind of like followed a couple of podcasts like related to that. But the thing is with me, I feel like it needs to be told to me in a story format, number one. And number two, I feel like it has to be like something cool that is relevant. Like, for example, it's on like my to-do. Not my to-do. What's the word I'm looking for? It's on like, not my roster, but it's there in the podcast playlist, I guess you could call it. I really want to hear about like Barbie's marketing strategy and all of the things that they did, because when that shit was going down, I was so excited. I was like, I could pee myself with how excited I was to see that, like, Ice Spice and Nicki Minaj were dropping a song, and then I was seeing like Cotton On is doing all of the Barbie merchandise, and then everyone was just talking about pink, and then there was pink everywhere, and it was like a whole movement, and then people were showing up to the movies in pink. Like, that shit like gets me excited. And then there was like an activation with the little Barbie thing. Like, when you can pull off stuff like that and make like groups of people around the world excited to see this movie that low-key they don't know what it's all about, but it's like iconic because it's Barbie, like that excites me. So on my roster, if you could say so, like I've got a podcast episode that unpacks that. And so anyway, I just literally got sidetracked. But what I was saying is that's what I've been trying to do, right? I want to listen to stuff that feels culturally relevant, but also relevant to my field and exciting, and I can relate to it and I can be like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So one of the podcasts that I was listening to on my way back from the gym was basically, I think it was like the co-founder of Skims. He was talking about like, you know, the strategy and how he thinks Kim is like the Michael Jordan of their industry, and basically how they work together, and, you know, the origins of Skims, like why they made certain decisions. And I just found like it was so interesting, and I was like excited, which was weird for me because I always like, I feel like I avoid listening to marketing / brand related content outside of working hours because it makes me feel like I'm working. But I feel like if it's told to me in a manner whereby it's kind of like a story time and it's something cool and like chill, and then not like using big words, then like I enjoyed so much more, and like I actually found myself like laughing and giggling and actually feeling like quite calm listening to it. So that was quite cool and quite exciting. So yeah, I don't know, like I'm literally just trying to absorb this type of information, and if I find any like interesting things in there, I would love to come on here and share it and unpack it a little bit more, because like I just want to feel more informed. Like I feel like TikTok informs me more than anything else, and that is very dangerous. Very, very dangerous. But yeah, I think it's just like really important to talk about like those sorts of things and talk about deeper things like what's happening in the world, in Palestine. And my heart goes out to, you know, the peeps. My heart goes out to the peeps. Like, it's just, yeah, it's so hard and it's so difficult, and it feels sucky, especially for me, like to know vaguely like what's going on, but not really, you know, doing my due diligence to stay informed and know exactly like how to help. Like I don't know why I just pivoted into that, you know, conversational topic, and I don't quite know how to handle it because it's such a delicate topic as well. But like I know that, you know, there's certain games on TikTok that you can use, and the proceeds go towards helping people in the affected areas, and like with the whole like Brittany Broski situation as well, and how she was basically saying she doesn't know how she, you know, can help if it's like so far away and all of that. It's just like I think I feel like I need to be more like tapped into those kinds of conversations and just learn how to better use my platform, my growing platform, to kind of show support for those areas in a way that feels authentic to me and in a way that is conducive to helping the situation in a sense. I think that's like something that I haven't quite got right in previous years, and with movements popping up here and there, it's just like not necessarily knowing how to use one's voice. And I mean, I feel like if you feel the same way as me, then I feel like this is a platform in which we can discover and uncover how we can go about doing that in a way that feels authentic to us. So yeah, I don't know where I just went with that conversation, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit all over the place, but yeah, that's kind of like everything that I've had on my mind in terms of like what's been going on. I'm sending everybody So much love and so much comfort and so many hugs during this time. I appreciate you guys for listening into the podcast always. Like, really, really do appreciate it. If you want to check out like all of my links and also how you can support the cause to free Palestine, I think I'm going to research some links and I'm going to insert those into the description box below, so you can check that out, and also maybe some other resources that kind of just delves into what's actually going on into the situation a little bit deeper, because I just feel like I'm not equipped with the right vocabulary, around the situation at this moment in time. So I'm going to add in some links there. And then don't forget everything that you do in this life, like whether it's making a cup of tea for yourself, do it with love and a sprinkling of magic. Be kind to the people around you. Take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself. And if I don't see you tomorrow, I'll catch up with you the next day or the day after that, which will be the pole competition. Anyway, thank you. Bye.